All right. So again, my name is Ben McGee, and um, I am the president and CEO of Cyber Protects. I've been training for the past 10 years, and specifically at the University of Alabama here in Huntsville, as well as Calhoun Community College, and a lot of my own for the past 4 years since I've launched Cyber Protects. I've certified hundreds of people, not only in the Security Plus, but the Certified Ethical Hacker, the Network Plus, the and the CISSP. So I have a few things, tricks of the trade that I'll be going over with you throughout um, these courses or these little demos. And what I'll do is I'll just ask you to try to keep up. If you have any questions at all, feel free to ask. I'll be more than happy to try to answer it if I can. If you feel like you need to uh, sharpshoot me and try to stump the panel, I enjoy that. So feel free to throw some curveballs at me. And if I don't know the answer, uh, at this point in my career, I've made a pretty good living at looking stuff up and finding you the answer. So uh, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get started with what is the Security Plus. And specifically here, in April 2014, they launched the new 401 exam, and it has 90 questions on it. It's multiple choice and performance based. But the interesting thing is they've also introduced these two new types of questions that I think are throwing people a bit of an issue, and those are the drag and drops and the hotspots. And I'll show you at the end of this session one of the neat things that I've created on my website, and that's the Cyber Ninja, which is the testing software that specifically focuses on the hotspots as well as the drag and drops. But you got 90 minutes, and even some of the high school students that I help volunteer with, they can probably figure out that 90 questions in 90 minutes means that you got to be pretty fast with reading some of these things. And quite frankly, that's one of the things of taking some of the boot camps that I run. I beat into people's heads. I try to get them down to roughly about 30 seconds per question. And if you can't answer a question within 30 seconds, then you need to mark it for review and then come back to it at the tail end of it. Any question that is not answered is counted against you, so it is wrong, and it's important for you to realize that um, that's how you'll be judged. So they say you need to have a minimum of 2 years experience in IT administration with the focus on security, and for a lot of people that's not a problem. Um, but for right now, this is the bear if you don't have the Security Plus that you're up against. Breaking it down a little bit, some of the domains that we're going to cover throughout this particular course are shown up here, and specifically, it's broken down in a percentage wise. And this way, I think that they're able to isolate specific focus, usually in a in-person live seminar or boot camp that I run. Um, I'd say probably 95% of everyone who takes a Security Plus class is daunted by the sixth domain right here, cryptography. And really, that's been one of the straws and the camel's back, the reasons why they don't want to take this thing is they're afraid of cryptography. But I have a few different techniques that I use, including my crypto bucket. That if you've taken a class with me before, I try to make it as easy as possible to remember cryptography, specifically symmetric, asymmetric, and hashes, which one's which. And that's usually a pretty good indication of where the question's going to go. So if we go out and ask Dr. Google right now about information security jobs, I know a few of you that have signed up for this, but I don't know everyone. Um, we go out, we look on all the job boards, or the news, or even headhunters are calling me day in and day out looking for people to fill their positions, and quite frankly, we don't have enough people to help out. I think Forbes last month published a report that we have 450,000 jobs in IT security and cybersecurity that are vacant right now, and it is a fantastic time for you and everybody who we know who have been in computer science or programming, or solutions architects, to start to transform their career into the new paradigm of how do we secure everything. Some of the reasons why people typically take the training, usually it's more money, but we'll get into that here in a second. The reason why I think a lot of people take it is for curiosity, maybe for their job, but they want to make sure that they have continued employment. So it's super important. If you go out to something like salary.com, usually what we see here in our area, the 35758, you can actually do this for your own zip code, but the 25th percentile, you see roughly around 81,000, and the 75th percentile, it's a good chunk of change there, making six figures. Of course, it depends on experience and how smooth of a talker you are, but really, I think that somebody who has been in the industry for 5 years should be making that 25th percentile if you have a college degree and the Security Plus certificate. But it really depends on your experience. Here's another one just to vet it a little bit further. The salary.com was the previous slide. This one's pay scale. And you can see that they're both kind of right in the same range there, from 79 or 81 on the previous slide, 79 here, up to six figures for other folks that may have it. Right now, we're making a transition in the DoD, and I would expect that. And the DoD, I mean Department of Defense. I would expect that transition trickles down to corporate America if it already hasn't, and I'm starting to see that with some of the consulting on the commercial side. But the moniker of information assurance has now transformed into cybersecurity, and it doesn't really matter to me what lipstick we're going to be putting on this pig. It still is a big problem that we have in our world that we need help, and really it comes down to what can we do to protect our assets against the bad guys, and this is one of the first steps in doing that. It used to be cool to be called a hacker back when I was going to University of Florida, but now it's quite the contrary. It's got a negative connotation. We've seen a significant increase in the number of attacks on corporate networks, and really it's the tools that keep getting easier to use, and so much cool stuff is out there with like Kali Linux or Metasploit or any of the SANS SIF tools. And for anybody that's interested in learning about those, you can check out my website on some of the videos that we already have out there. When we get into some of the attacking and how to mitigate threats here within the Security Plus, it's important that you know what the methodology is. You may see a couple questions on the exam about this right here, but I don't know specifically if you guys are going to be reading this 100% from the exact cover that we see here with the phased approach. So this is the reconnaissance, scanning, gaining access, maintaining access, and covering your tracks.